Long ago, in the peaceful village of Itoro, people believed that the gods blessed only those who shared what they had. Among them lived a poor drummer named Ede, a cheerful young man whose rhythms fill the evenings with joy. Though his drum was old and patched with goatskin, its sound could make even the saddest heart dance. But Ede had one heavy burden: hunger. His stomach often sang louder than his drum. The villagers loved his music, but rarely paid him. "Tomorrow, Ede," they would say, laughing as they danced. "We will pay you tomorrow." But tomorrow never came. One dry evening, when the sun burned low and the earth cracked underfoot, Ede wandered into the forest to rest. He sat beneath a great Iroku tree, tapping lightly on his old drum. Suddenly, he heard a deep humming, rich and warm, like a hidden rhythm in the wind. Curious, he followed the sound around the tree and found a small, round drum resting among the roots. Its surface glowed faintly like moonlight on water. As Ede bent down to touch it, the drum spoke in a calm, soft voice. "Play me when you are hungry, but never in anger." Ede jumped back in fright. He looked around, but no one was there. Still, hunger pushed fear aside. Carefully, he carried the drum home. That night, when his empty stomach growled louder than the crickets, he remembered the drum's words and tapped it gently once. Boom! In an instant, plates of steaming yam porridge, roasted plantain, and fresh palm wine appeared before him. Ede gasped. He knelt and ate slowly, savoring every bite until his belly was full and warm. For the first time in many moons, he slept smiling. From that day on, Ede was never hungry again. But he remembered the drum's warning and used it wisely. Each time he played it, he shared the food with hungry children, widows, and old men. Soon, the villagers called him Ede, the blessed drummer. News of Ede's kindness and his mysterious drum spread far across the land. One morning, a messenger from the palace arrived. "The great Oba Tayo wishes to see the blessed drummer," he announced. Ede bowed deeply before the chief that afternoon. Oba Tayo sat upon his carved wooden chair, surrounded by servants and guards. "My son," the Oba said kindly, "play your drum in my palace. Let us all eat together." Ede obeyed. He tapped the drum gently and boom! Bowls of sweet pottage, golden fish, spicy stew, and fruits of every color appeared on the floor. The palace filled with laughter and the smell of good food. The Oba, overjoyed, gave Ede a bag of cowries and said, "You are a good man. May your hands never go empty." But among the servants stood a jealous man named Ojo. Watching Ede receive praise, Ojo's heart darkened. If a poor drummer can feed a whole palace, imagine what I could do with that drum. That night, when the moon climbed high and the village slept, Ojo crept into Ede's hut. Quiet like a shadow, he stole the drum and ran into the forest. At dawn, Ede awoke to find his treasure gone. His chest tightened with sorrow, but he did not curse or cry. Instead, he walked barefoot to the Iroko tree and knelt. "Spirit of the forest," he said humbly, "your gift has been taken from me. I meant no harm." The tree rustled gently, and the same calm voice replied, "A greedy hand always drums its own sorrow." Meanwhile, Ojo hid in his hut, grinning proudly. "Now I shall be the richest man alive," he said. Placing the drum before him, he struck it hard and shouted, "Bring me gold and riches." The drum stayed silent. Angry, Ojo struck it again, harder this time. Boom! Suddenly, a dark cloud burst out of the drum. Thousands of furious hornets. They buzzed like thunder and filled the hut. Ojo screamed, running through the village with the swarm chasing him. He dove into the river, slapping his swollen face while villagers laughed until tears streamed down their cheeks. When the hornets vanished, Ojo limped to Ede's hut, covered in stings and shame. Falling to his knees, he returned the drum. "Forgive me," he cried. "I was blinded by greed." Ede looked at him kindly. The drum listens only to a hungry heart, not a greedy one. He forgave Ojo and continued to share his blessings as before. Years passed, and Ede grew old. The drum's power began to fade just as his hands did. One cool evening, he called the village children around him and said softly, "My children, remember this. The true magic is not in the drum, but in the heart. Share what you have, even if it is little. A greedy stomach is never full." When Ede passed away, the villagers buried him beneath the Iroko tree, the same tree that had given him the drum. The air was filled with quiet drumming that day, though no one was playing. In his honor, the people of Itoro began a yearly festival called the Feast of the Drum. Every family brought food, yams, fruits, fish, rice, and water to share with one another. No one went hungry, and laughter once again filled the village. And on still nights, when the wind rustles through the forest, people say you can hear a faint rhythm, a soft, steady beat, as if someone is gently drumming far away. They say it is Ede, reminding the living that kindness feeds more than the stomach.